A hand-knotted cashmere carpet is a generational investment. On the surface, resting in a sunlit room, it looks immaculate, but standard household maintenance creates an illusion of cleanliness. Even strict no-shoe policies and daily vacuuming leave behind a steady accumulation of microscopic dirt that settles beneath the visible pile. This deep-seated grit is structurally dangerous. Granules of soil wedge into the base of the knots, acting like microscopic sandpaper. Everyday foot traffic pushes down on the pile, forcing these jagged particles to grind against the foundation, physically slicing delicate silk and wool threads. Protecting a piece of woven art requires treating this underlying structural decay, because surface-level tidiness will never stop the friction happening at the root. You can test for this hidden accumulation at home. The simplest method is to lift one corner of the rug and give the back a firm shake. A visible dust cloud indicates deep-seated soil. Alternatively, aggressively rubbing the surface pile with an open palm will pull embedded grime upward, leaving a visible layer of dirt on your skin. Finally, folding the rug sharply back onto itself pries open the densely packed pile. This exposes the warp and weft threads at the foundation, revealing any dry rot or heavy dust settling at the base. Failing any of these tests means friction is actively severing the fibers. At this stage, standard vacuuming is insufficient, and professional extraction is required before the mechanical wear creates permanent bald spots. Intervention happens in centralized restoration environments, like this Pan-India facility at the World Trade Center in Mumbai. Here, the process begins with strict chemical triage. Before any water touches the fabric, technicians perform a color-fastness test. They chemically sample the dyes to see if the historical pigments are stable enough to withstand a wet wash without bleeding. If a delicate antique or silk rub fails this test, it is immediately diverted. Technicians switch to targeted dry cleaning or low-moisture steam protocols to protect the original colors. This triage phase also isolates specific biological stains. Pet odors and complex spills receive an enzymatic pretreatment, breaking down the chemical compounds of the stain before the primary wash even begins. Skipping this chemical evaluation and going straight to heavy detergents is why DIY home cleaning often permanently ruins luxury carpets. Rugs cleared for wet washing enter a rigorous gauntlet. First, a specialized mechanical duster violently vibrates the fabric, shaking loose the dry, foundational sandpaper embedded deep within the knots. Next comes the submersion. A thick lather of eco-friendly, pH-balanced shampoo washes over the threads, safely loosening soil without stripping the natural oils. The treatment remains highly individualized. Artisans manually spot clean stubborn areas, strictly controlling their physical pressure to prevent delicate silk components from stretching or warping. This careful manual intervention perfectly mirrors the meticulous attention of the original weavers. The hands cleaning the knots respect the hands that tied them. The wash is never a brute force scrubbing. It is a calculated, material-specific chemical bath tailored to the exact biology of the rug. Rinsing the rug completely is non-negotiable. Any leftover soap residue will dry sticky, acting as a magnet that rapidly attracts new dirt. Both the front and back are flushed until the water runs completely clear. To safely remove the heavy water weight, the rug passes through a mechanical roller wringer. Pressing the moisture out evenly prevents the pooling that leads to bacterial decay and musty odors. Finally, the carpet is hung in a climate-controlled room with high air circulation. This ensures thorough curing to stop mildew, completely shielded from the direct sunlight that causes UV fading. This methodical sequence of triage, washing, and curing is unrushed. The entire operation safely takes 7 to 10 days from start to finish. Proper extraction and curing dictate the final result. They separate a temporary surface cleaning from a true, deep structural restoration. When returned to the owner, the rug is fully dried, moth-proofed, and vibrating with its original restored color. Maintaining this state starts with a simple rule at the front door: keep street shoes off the pile. Walking barefoot or in socks immediately stops exterior grime from grinding into the fibers. If a spill occurs, immediately blot the liquid with a clean white cloth. Never rub or scrub the area. That friction only forces the stain deeper into the roots and damages the texture. An owner's daily habits form the crucial first line of defense against premature degradation. But even with perfect daily care and attention, the clock on microscopic dirt accumulation is always silently ticking. The final rule of maintenance is to schedule a professional, deep extraction clean every 12 to 18 months. This regularly resets the biological clock before friction takes hold. By pairing daily defensive habits with expert chemical restoration, these woven masterpieces will outlast the floor they sit on, thriving for generations.